Shalom to the hopeful elect of Israel. Let us give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Racha, Kodash. Double honor to our elders and apostles of the great millstone. Peace and salutation to the hopeful elect again. You know, hey man, I was at the plantation, right? And where I'm at, I'm around food, right? I'm around food. I'll just put it like that. And a thought came into my mind. That first plate of food during the famine. You know what I'm saying? Like during the famine, that first plate of food is gonna say a lot, because it's gonna show a lot. You know, when you grasp a better understanding of how the Lord operates through his scriptures, through His Word, and you trust and you believe in His Word. Let's say, for instance, reincarnation and us, you know, every third to fourth generation coming back, and the same spirits, the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets. The the spirit bear witness, you know, that we are the children of Israel, you know, according to the scriptures, according to the word of Yahweh Yahweh Shai. And knowing, like it says in Romans 9, how even those all of Israel is not Israel, you know, because the Lord has his elect. The Lord has his elect believers, those that's gonna go through the grain, those are gonna go through the hardships, those are gonna accept. It's like this in a relationship. You find somebody that accept you for who you are. Those are the ones that's yours. Those that accept you for who you are, not because of what you do, not because of what you can provide for them, not because of what you can comfort them. It's not all about comforting. It's about how I want to say it, like someone that's gonna. People always ask people to be real with them, but it's about somebody that's gonna actually be true to you, be real to you. That's gonna warn you, hey, if you're doing wrong, I'd rather warn you so you could correct your shit before you get destroyed. But a lot of our people, they fucking yes men and women and children. Is y'all some followers, man. Y'all some fucking followers, man. And the thing is, y'all not even following the right thing. Y'all not even following the truth. These people, they just full of y'all some fucking it's lucky. I damn near went left with the conversation. But I want to get a precept before I go any further. Let's go here. Let's go here. That first plate is going to determine a lot of people's faith in that day and that time. A lot of people's a lot of people is going to be like, hey, shit, man. Because even during Jacob's trouble, this truth is going to have to go out. You know, right? It might not be on a grand scale like it is right now. You know, pursuant to Matthew chapter 24. You know, this gospel shall be preached to all the world, and then the end shall come. Because pursuant to Amos chapter 5, in the time of trouble, the Lord is going to preserve His elect, His men, His prophets. He's going to shut their mouths. A prudent man is going to be silent in the time of trouble, right? So it's not going to be broadcasted on a worldly stage, but we will be among people that have received the truth, you know. But at the same time, what happened during the time of Moses? A lot of our people were destroyed. You know, even Moses. A lot of our people were destroyed. They didn't make it into the land with milk and honey. Only Caleb and Jacob did. That was of those generations. Everybody else came back as a baby. If you understand what I'm saying. All right. In these times that we coming into, the Lord has has perfected his elect to reach the measurement of Yahweh Shai. Whoever we are, Lord willing, we be a part of that elect number. Aron Ratazah, Baba Kasha, we are a part of that number. But there's going to be many people around us, you know. The Lord said you're going to see people on your left and on your right hand. To the elect, Psalms, there's going to be people on your left and your right hand that's going to be perishing. You know, 2/3 and these other heathen nations, you know, fighting against us or, you know, supposed to be with us. It's gonna be chaotic on a whole different level, a whole different scene. Something we've never imagined before, especially with all this, what they call it, sheltering. America, for the worst part of anything, has sheltered a lot of us. A lot of people came to America to be sheltered from wars, from famines, from things that other countries in the world have had to witness. America has sheltered many of us from that shit. Even those that's come here from those other countries that's witnessed that shit, they've had some time of being sheltered. The Lord is about to strip that away. Okay? Just to bring a focus on a reality that's about to hit. But I want to get this, Salakia. Matthew 6 and 25. When it comes to this famine, again, that first place of food during the famine, what's it going to mean to you? This is what Yahweh Shemar Shah say, Matthew 6 and 25. It says, therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat, or what ye shall drink. Right? Because America has sheltered so many people to the point where they think, man, if I ain't got this, if I ain't got that, you know, especially these people that eat all this wicked shit. Let's say, for instance, all right, you make it up in your mind, you're not gonna eat shrimp, crab, lobster, pork. You know, those are the main things that we mainly talk about. But what about the other things? You know, I believe, was it crickets? It was some kind of insect, Salakia, that we had ate. Probably about 2 years ago. I'm not gonna say, you know, but it was, you know, it was a thing amongst brothers that I know that we did, you know, and it was supposedly according to the scripture. So, you know, it wasn't going off. We wasn't eating any creatures that couldn't have been eaten, right? And we're still alive to this day, you know. If we were ignorant, the Lord winked at our ignorance. Maybe we do some more research. But the point is, we might have to. And matter of fact, to prove that, I think it was like, I wouldn't say locust, but let's go here. Let's go here first. He ate wild locusts and honey. Right. I'm gonna just go there. Yeah, let's get it. Yep. Speaking about John the Baptist. See, y'all wanna go through all this. I don't wanna do it. Let's go here. Yep. Mark chapter 1, verse 6. And John the Baptist, the cousin of Yahushua. John was clothed with camel's hair and with a girdle of skin about his loins. And he did eat locusts and wild honey. And this is one of the men that brought a forecasting of what was going to happen as far as baptism. He told the whole world, even from then, before America was erected, before these islands over here was erected, before we ever knew about America or Puerto Rico or Haiti or Cuba, right? John the Baptist had told us about the baptism of Yahushua. He said, I baptize you with water, but one to come after me, roughly paraphrasing, he's going to baptize you with fire and with the Holy Spirit. And his name was Yahushua. Okay? Again, Mark 1 and 6. And John was clothed with camel's hair and with a girdle of the skin about his loins. And he did eat locusts and wild honey. I said wild locusts and honey. But, anyway, locusts and wild honey. Now, that wild honey, you think it didn't have no bees around it? You didn't think that, the situation we're going to come into, it's going to be a time where these things, the first plate of food during the famine, it's not going to be what you consider, it's not going to be what you consider like some restaurant dining shit. And it's going to make a difference between the actual elect, those that trust and believe in Yahweh Shem Shah, and this world, the setup of this world that's going to pass away. You're not going to have a plate with barbecue beef back ribs. I mean, if you do, you do, right? If you do, you might stumble across a crib, a house that people have stored up their riches and everything like that, and they're deceased or they're carried off to a camp. But if not, that shouldn't deter your faith. You might have to eat some locusts, some crickets, some you got to find out what you can eat, what's edible. Don't eat no swine, don't eat no mouse, don't eat no possums, don't eat no bullshit like that, to the best of your ability. If you know it is what it is, right? But my point is, this is going to make a difference in faith, because a lot of our people are going to be looking for, matter of fact, let's go here. The Lord said, let's get it. That's another lesson. I don't want to. John 6 and 26. Yahushua answered, matter of fact, let me jump up. No, that's perfect. I'll start there. Words to the people. Yahushua answered them and said, matter of fact, I want to hear what they say. Verse 24. When the people therefore saw Yahushua was not there, neither his disciples, they also took shipping and came to Capernaum, seeking Yahushua. And when they had found him on the other side of the sea, they said unto him, Rabbi, when comest thou hither? And shit, man. Shit, man. It's like when you be on the highways and hedges, man, and you just out there telling the truth. You know how many people just walk by? You know how many people just walk by? Because we're not out there with bottles of water or candy or cookies and cakes and pies. We're not out there with barbecuing. Our people love to play, right? They won't receive the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. But they thirsty. They don't even know what they thirsty for, but they thirsty. They dry bones. The Lord said, ye that thirst, come and buy without money. Roughly paraphrasing. Come and get this word. Come and get this libation. Come and get this what they call it? You know, libation is the liquid. You know, but it's another word for the substance. Come and get this substance. You know. Yahushua, once again, John 6:26. Yahushua answered them and said, Verily, verily, I say unto you, ye seek me not because ye saw the miracles. Right? You didn't believe that we escaped out of the hand of the wicked. You ain't believe that there was men set up. This is Jacob's trouble. Men set up to destroy us. You didn't believe that the sick was healed. You didn't believe that people cleave to the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You didn't believe that you know, when the troops was coming in, they didn't see us. Right? You didn't believe that that people were resurrected from the dead. Because the Lord is going to give power to his men, spiritual power to his men, even greater than what he had when he was on the earth. You understand that? There's going to be plenty of miracles the Lord's going to provide for all these people. But just because, you know, for that first plate of food during the famine. Again, Yahushua answered them and said, Verily, verily, I say unto you, ye seek me, not because ye saw the miracles, but because ye did eat of the loaves and were filled. So what that mean? You going back to the flesh. You going back to depending on, your mindset is going to be stuck on the fish, the loaves of bread, the things that kept you content, you know, the things that you remember of the world. You don't know nothing about eating honey, eating locusts and wild honey. How many of our people know anything about eating locusts and wild honey? Crickets. You know, dandelions, dandelions as a form of substance. You're not going to have old country buffet. You're not going to have Chili's food. And call halal how about Shemel Shah for not even eating none of that blasphemous bullshit. The Lord's going to feed us with necessary. Let me get that food that's necessary. Hold on. Yeah. Lord, here we go. That's a good one. That's not what I wanted. I probably had to put that back up. Let me get another one. Matter of fact, let me get that. Yeah, that's what I wanted. That Job call like Yabashina Shah. Job 23, and it states, verse 12, it states, neither have I gone back from the commandment of his lips. I have esteemed the words of his mouth more than my necessary food. That's what I wanted. The words of your Lord's mouth more than our necessary food. Right? Every little thing that we come into contact with, come into play with, even having simple conversations back and forth with people in our daily lives. That's our conversation. That's our daily food. People, and which man, and I could see it. People in your everyday conversations, how you conduct yourself based on the word of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah. People understand that we actually humble ourselves. We make ourselves meek. We might, and in the midst of that, people get help if they take it. People receive help if they take it. And it's not of our doing. It's all the doing of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah. Like, you might have a situation a person is going through, but they don't want to say nothing about it. But when the Lord uses you to be meek and to be humble and not to, boast in yourself, you can actually get to the bottom of situations that may seem uh, hazardous or conflictual, or that can cause a conflict. The Lord say, how it go? I don't even think I got the calm. That's not what I wanted. That's what I want. Yeah, Proverbs 15, verse 1. A smooth answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. Yeah. You know what? And the words of Yahweh Shem Shah are soft, humble, being meek. You don't gotta sit up there and be so, you know. You ain't gotta sit up there. Verse 2, the tongue is the wise, the tongue of the wise useth knowledge aright, but the mouth of fools poureth out foolishness. Right. You're getting bucked with people shit like that. In a time of trouble, you don't want to be one of those people, man. In a time of trouble, when you gotta watch your own back, the words of Yahweh Shem Shah was gonna get you out of those tight spots. All right. I ain't saying we gonna bow down and just accept anybody's bullshit, their rhetoric, or anything of that nature. But you don't gotta get loud. We ain't gotta be all that rah rah. In the time of trouble, if you a prophet, man, the Lord you're gonna be one of the most quietest people out here, if anything. I mean, just based on what I've read. I speak as a man. But yeah, that first plate of food, man, during the famine, that's going to turn a lot. You have people doing this. You gonna have people doing this. Mm-hmm. Numbers. Oh, I should get that Exodus. Numbers chapter 14, verse 2. And all the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron, and the whole congregation said unto them, the Most High would the Most High that we had died in the land of Egypt, or would the Most High we had died in the wilderness? And wherefore have the Lord brought us unto this land to fall by the sword, that our wives and our children should be a prey? Were it not better for us to return to Egypt? And they said one to another, let us make a captain, and let us return to Egypt. Then Moses and Aaron fell on their faces before all the assembly of the congregation of the children of Israel. You know what? And you know what? The thing is, we're not going to do that. Lord forbid. We already know what time it is. These things were written for our understanding. We're not going to fall on our faces. A lot of our people are going to still have that same spirit of returning back to America, returning back to the old ways of America. Not the old ways of Yahweh Shema Shah, not the old ways of Yasharallah, but the old ways of Babylon the Great, of Egypt. That's what they're going to want to return back to. Hey, man, I might well go and take that MOTB. Well, then fucking go ahead, do it. Ain't nobody holding you captive. And these are going to be the same people that's going to turn on you. That's why it's going to be a beautiful thing. It's going to be a good thing when it's going to be a cry for wine in the streets. And these people are not going to find us. These people are not going to find the prophets of Yahweh Shema Shah. The Lord said He's gonna make our tongue cleave to the roof of our mouth. What else we gotta say after that? And in the kingdom, we ain't gonna have to tell them. We're no longer going to have to teach our brothers who they are, what's really going on. There's no more time for talking. It's gonna be time for action, and action only. Verse 6, and Joshua the son of Nun, and Caleb the son of Jephunneh, which were of them that searched the land, rent their clothes. And they spake unto all the company of the children of Israel, saying, the land which we passed through to search it is an exceeding good land. If the Lord delight in us, then He will bring us into this land, and give it us a land which floweth with milk and honey. Only rebel not against the Lord, neither fear ye the people of the land, for they are bread for us. Their defense is departed from them. The Lord is with us. Fear them not. But here's the part. But the congregation bade stone them with stones. But all the congregation bade stone them with stones. Or bid them, yeah. Uttered.
Bid.
They uttered, they bade. That's the past tense of bade or bid. They bade them, uttered. A greeting or farewell. Command or order. Again, but all the congregation bade or bid them, stoned them with stones. And the glory of the Lord appeared in the tabernacle of the congregation before all the children of Israel. And the Lord said unto Moses, how long will this people provoke me? And how long will it be? How long will it be ere they believe me? For all the signs which I have showed among them, I will smite them with the pestilence and will disinherit them, and will make of thee a greater nation and mightier than they. And Moses said unto the Lord, then the Egyptians shall hear it, for thou brought up this people in thy might from among them. See, and that's why the Lord is making it clear right now. The Lord is making it clear right now. No matter what Moses said, no matter what Ezra said, no matter what Jeremiah said, you don't know how much I love these people. I love these people so much, but they just don't get it. They don't care. They have no fear. They lack fear in me. They lack the understanding that I'm trying to give them. They want to go back into Egypt. They mock me. They scorn me. They scoff me. So this time, this is going to be the last time. 2/3 are going to have to really get the picture, because when the Lord brings the elect back in those bodies, then the process of the children of Israel, they're all going to be starting to come back being perfect, with the full understanding, with the full fear, with the full dread of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and with the mind of not going off anymore. That's why these times that we living in, man, these are really, this is beautiful to know the Lord willing you be a part of that elect number, yo. I mean, it's beautiful to be an Israelite, period, but to be of the elect in these days and time, that's what's, man, that's what's fighting for. That's what's fighting for. Once you receive this truth, that's what's, hey, anything else is anything else. But nothing is like this gift that Yahweh Shem Yahushua has given us. Shit, man. Hey, shit, yeah, they constantly pissing Yahweh Shem Yahushua off, murmuring. Let me get this in Corinthians. I think that's where I want to go to. Corinthians. Hold on. Murmuring. Corinthians. This is a commandment. This is a commandment. Matter of fact, I'm going to open this up. And then I'm probably close out on this. 1 Corinthians 10. Moreover, brethren, I would not that ye should be ignorant how that our fathers were under the cloud, and all passed through the sea, and were all baptized unto Moses in the cloud and in the sea, and did all eat the same spiritual meat. Right? That's what the Lord is going. Whatever the Lord put before us, whatever He put before us, man, He said, take no thought what you shall eat or drink. You're gonna be sitting. Our people, man, like, I guess that's what came into my mind when I was at the plantation. I'm like, man, even though our people gonna know the truth, man, a lot of our people gonna still rebuttal against the Lord and how He provide for them. They don't want to eat locusts and wild honey. They don't want to eat chicken and waffles, right? The quail and the manna, right? They don't want to eat that. They don't want to eat the bread of heaven and the quails. They want Burger King and McDonald's. They gonna want this petty ass shit. They're gonna be looking back to Egypt, man. Well, then so be it. Verse 2 again, and we're all baptized into Moses in the cloud and in the sea, and did eat of the same spiritual meat, and did all drink the same spiritual drink, and they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Yahweh Shah. See, and that's that's just hit different. It's like the Lord's gonna be preparing our bodies. We're gonna be separated from even our flesh, our bodies, with whatever the Lord provide for us. His word, mainly, most importantly, being obedient to His word. That's going to open up our hearts to receive, our minds to receive the second covenant. Yahweh Shah. But with many of them, God was not well pleased, for they were overthrown in the wilderness. Now these things were our examples, to the intent we should not lust after evil things, as they also lusted. Neither be ye idolaters, as were some of them, as it is written. The people sat down to eat and to drink, and rose up early and rose up to play. Right. Our people are going to be they're going to have, what does Scripture say? Forget not Lot's wife. They're gonna be, God, Lord forbid we be a part of that number, man, of thinking that we can find any joy in what we're leaving behind. There's no joy in leaving behind wickedness and leaving behind something that's been polluted. And everything amongst us right now in America and in this present kingdom, it's all been polluted. It's all been polluted. Um, um, Verse 6, now these things were our examples, right? These things are written for our learning. To the intent we should not lust after evil things as they also lusted. Neither be ye idolaters, as were some of them, as it is written, the people sat down to eat and drink and rose up early and rose up to play. Neither let us commit fornication, as some of them committed and fell in one day 3,000 and 20,000. I'll say 23,000. Neither let us corrupt Yahweh, neither let us tempt Yahweh Shai, as some of them also tempted and were destroyed of serpents. Okay, now this is the same thing that we was going through coming out of Egypt. And what is America known as? Egypt again. When the war is going on, when World War III popping off, with the MOTB popping off, with famine going on, there's going to be plenty of temptations. There's going to be plenty of temptations. Prepare thy soul for temptation when you come to serve Yahweh Shemi Shah. Praying and fasting and to the best of our ability. You know, first and foremost, just depending that the Lord going to guide us through it all, and that we're going to have to go through the straight gate. We're going to have to suffer through this shit. We have to go through much tribulation. We're going to have to get to the kingdom. And the elect has a Lord willing, we have a remembrance of that. No matter how hard it get, this is what gets us to have that faith. And I'm gonna get to my point. It's coming. Verse 9, it says, neither let us tempt Yahweh Shai, as some of them also tempted and were destroyed of serpents. Right? That's that Numbers chapter 21. Murmuring. You know, they didn't want to go up against Esau. You know, you brought us out here to die in the wilderness. That type of attitude. No, man. The Lord bringing us to something a whole lot better than what we've ever witnessed in our whole entire life. And it's not just going into the land of Israel with these bodies. It's being renewed. It's being renewed into a covenant of no matter what we do, we're gonna be right. Not I mean like that. I mean that whatever we do, we're going to be right in the eyes of Yahweh Shemi Shai. We're not going to go off anymore. All right. And it's the point, verse 10. Neither murmur ye, as some of them also murmured and were destroyed of the destroyer. Now all these things happen unto them for examples, and they are written for our admonition, upon whom the ends of the world are come. Wherefore let him that thinketh he standeth take heed lest he fall. There have no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. But the Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. All right. Wherefore, my dearly beloved, flee from idolatry. I speak as to wise men. Judge ye what I say. All right, I'm gonna just cut off right there, pretty much. You know, just consider, what was said through the Spirit and power. How about you, Shah, Lord, willing this lesson is edifying. You know, that first plate of food during the famine is going to determine a lot. A lot of our people gonna be like, "Hey, man, well, this ain't what I expected." Hey, man, what else did you expect? We're reaching to we're gonna have to go through whatever we got to go through to get to something better. Whatever you go through, look at your current life. If you have anything in your life going, if you're a child of Israel, especially if you're of the elect, you already know. You already know. You've been beaten down. You've been without. And you've been seeing how the Lord took you from there to where you at right now. He's just constantly building you up. For anybody else and everybody else, I don't know what else to say. Lord willing, with that, I hope this lesson is edifying to the hopeful elect. Um, I had got a quote that I wrote down to go with this lesson. It says, complaining about what the Lord do is foolish. Most don't complain about what the wicked do. Yeah, y'all don't complain about KFC. Y'all don't complain about McDonald's. Y'all don't complain about these Christian pastors. Y'all want to complain about, like, I was listening to a lesson from Elder Manasseh about this female. She was complaining about, they want to put it all on so-called Hebrew Israelites, right? Her relationship with her man, her personal issue with her husband. Now it seems like she's a part of adultery, or she might be caught up in adultery if she don't go back to him or whatever, or if he don't consider her. But anyway, y'all never said nothing about these pastors and these preachers in the Christian church doing all these things to these little children, to these women, sleeping with multiple women and things like that. Y'all never said nothing to these bastards. Y'all complain about what the Lord is doing right now, according to the scriptures. But y'all don't complain about what the wicked do. Y'all don't complain about that. But I'm going to just leave it right there, pretty much. Yeah, the first plate of food during the famine is going to determine a lot of people's faith. People are going to be looking for, what the world got to offer them. The fashion of this world is going to pass away. We're going to be in the kingdom. The last thing we're going to be thinking about is fucking food, man. Consider that. The last thing we're going to be worrying about is is fucking food. Rulership, man. Righteousness. Food's going to be the last thing going on your mind, man. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to close out with that. Lord willing, this is edifying to the hopeful elect, man. Expect better things. Expect better things. Even take it cheerfully when you are brought to a lower state. We don't live by flesh, man. Yeah, we have our weaknesses in the flesh and shit like that, but the Lord's going to bring us to something totally out of this world, if you understand what I mean. Till next time, to the hopeful elect, endure, Yahweh, Yahweh Shah, Ratazah. Let us give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shah, Bashem, Rachak, Kodash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Till next time, Kwam Yasharallah, Wa Abba Baba.